Welcome back to the channel. My name is Todd Jewell, and it is once again time for another market update. This time we're going to be looking back at the month of March. Today is April 2nd. These numbers are hot off the presses. Let's get to it. In this video and in these market updates, here's how we do these. First of all the numbers I use come directly from our MLS system. They are for the entirety of Knox County. They don't take in any surrounding counties, and they are for single-family primary residences. So the first thing we want to do, we always look at days on market. Now, this is average days on market. And what does that mean? It means the average number of days that once a property is actively listed for sale, it sets there to the public before it goes under contract. That number in the month of March 2025 was 44 days. That is a drop from the month of February, which was 46.2 days. Statistics taken by themselves are useless, okay? You're always looking for trends in data. So never just say, oh, that's a lot of days. You need to know what came before it so you can predict what's going to come after it and kind of get a feel for what's going on in the market. So if we look back year over year, March of 2024, the number of days on market at that point were 36.4. So we've seen about a 10-day growth or so in number of days on market. Now, you've heard me talk about how we use median, which means 50% above and 50% below, like of solds. And the reason we use median instead of average is because it is much less affected. One, this is a smaller market, and it's less affected by a few single large or small sales. And here's why I'm telling you this. If I look at the median number of days on market, it's 14 days. And here's why that is. People go, wow, what a difference. Why is that? It's because of this. There are homes that sell in the market for 100 days, 200 days, 300 days, because they're just completely unrealistic in the price, the condition, all those kind of parameters. And so they sit there and they skew the numbers. I've always called it sellable listings. And that's what we're looking for. And if you look at listings that hit the market today, they're in good areas, they're quality homes, they're priced properly for their condition, they're selling very quickly. Our market is seasonal, okay? So if we look at last February, the number of days on market were 24.5, and it actually increased to 36.4. Kind of caught us off guard. We're getting more into selling season. March has spring break in it. We are slammed for about the 2-week period that most places are on spring break, because people, when the children are out of school, want to come look for a home. Next thing I want to look at is the absorption rate. Absorption rate is if we don't list any more homes starting today, basically at the current sales rate, how long is it going to take to run out of homes? Right now, that's 2.13 months. It was 2.06 last month. 4 is a better number. If we could get to 4, it would make it easier to sell for people who are selling here and find a home if they have a quality home. It would make it easier for you guys to come into town, look at the market, find 5 or 6 homes that fit what you're looking for, and find the one that you really like and be able to buy that home. And if I look at March of 2024, is 1.56. The trend tells us we are slowly getting a few more people to put their homes on the market. What does that really mean for the market? Here's what makes up that absorption rate. In the month of March, we had 1,306 active listings. 924 of those were new listings that came on during the month. So if we look at that over last month, February, we had 1,269 active listings, so we had a few more, and we saw only 651 new listings come on the market in February, but we saw these 924 in March. If we look back year over year, you see 667 last February, and you see 798 last March in 24. So it is seasonal, but March is always going to see an increase. It is the beginning of selling season. Things start greening up here in East Tennessee. You can get nice pictures of your home, and it becomes time to sell. Sold listings. How many homes actually sold, closed, is what that means in the month of March. And in the month of March of 25, that was 570 homes in the county sold, which shows you that this is still a pretty small market in county, and our transactions are still very low. But if we look at that over last March, it was 655. It went down. I'm not sure what that means yet. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not putting a lot of credence into that number one way or another. Here's what I know, because we were out in the market all month showing homes, working with clients. And what we saw was about 3 weeks ago, and a significant increase in buyer activity in the market, good homes hitting the market and going away the weekend that they hit the market. And we saw the return of sometimes competitive and even multiple offer situations. The home is well priced, in a good condition, meaning basically move-in ready, because that's what most of you are looking for. And it's in a good location. It's going to sell quickly right now. What does that mean for pricing? The pricing in March, as of this morning, the median sold price was $400,000 for Knox County. Drop back below that. Last March, just to put it in reference, it was $377,000. So it actually represents a year-over-year increase of just a little over 6%. If we look at the month of February, the median sold price was $400,600. So it's basically flat. It was in $600. That being said, I was looking at numbers, and I want to show how specific the market is. If we look at markets like Farragut, which is the 37934 zip code, the median sales price for the February was $710,950. That means 50% of the homes down there sold above that, 50% sold below that. That's a big difference than 400. When you're online looking at homes, it's very important to reach out to us or someone who really understands the market, because you have to match not just your budget, but what you're looking for in an area. Now, there are many areas that you don't have to spend $700,000 in to live the lifestyle you're going to want to live, but you need to know where those are and how to account for those. Hardin Valley median sales price, March 24, $480. This March, $559. That's a 16.65% year-over-year increase. And honestly, we're probably going to see that hold, if not increase, because it's a very desirable area. Why? Really good schools, really good location, still $100,000 to $150,000 less than Farragut. What does these numbers mean before I go? I always like to give you a summary. If you're looking at the Knoxville area and you're looking at financial people who are giving you these consumer debt numbers and all these things that they're using to tell you what's the housing market's going to crash, you need to turn them off. That is not something that is near as relative right here. It's not going down. The question is just how fast is it going to continue to go up? How many homes are we going to have, and is it going to get a little less of a seller's market and maybe level out? I do think, I have high hopes that we're going to see it become a little bit better buyer's market as we get into summer. So I do feel like we're going to see spells of craziness, but at the same time, I think the market is still continuing to normalize even here in Knoxville. I hope this was a helpful video for you guys. If there's things you'd like to see us add to these market updates, please let me know. If you have questions about these numbers, reach out to us, put in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, do so. Until next time, I absolutely cannot wait to see you here in Knoxville soon.